Hello, Dr. Niba. How are you today?
I am blessed and highly favored, and I was doing more than I deserve.
Oh, thanks for making
Mhm.
time for me. How did God first lead you into ministry and to serve with PLI and then your role on the board as well with PLI?
I actually had an encounter with Christ in 1986, and that was the turning point in my life. And at that time, I just really felt that God was calling me to be involved in what I then called full-time ministry. That is serving God full-time. And I said, well, if God has called me, He's going to take care of me. He's going to feed me. And so I finished my seminary training. I haven't been in ministry for this number of years and also involved in theological training in a seminary. I've always felt that there's a missing link from my personal experience, even from training. I knew that there was a personal something that was missing when pastors are trained in seminary and when they actually get into the field, what they experience is not really what they were trained in the seminary to do. So I then came to discover that ministry is not just about passion, but about leadership development. How leaders are actually developed to effectively serve. So that's how I was searching. I was attending Exponential Conference in Florida, in the United States, and during one of the breaks. So I saw the PLI stand, and I walked up to that stand and then I asked them about. So I talked to the person who had I've forgotten the name. I don't remember the name so much. 1 month later, I was with Exchange, and they told me that there was a training going on. And so we were following with my wife online. The internet was very bad. But just from what we were following, I think this is really something that we have wanted personally, and this is something that is going to help pastors and leaders in our church to grow. So the vision and the mission of PLI, training couples in ministry, and more of about transformation, not just about theology, because I have enough theology in my head. The kind of transformational training that PLI gave. So my wife and I would say this is something that we want to give our lives to and to get other people involved. So in 2021, with Dr. Scott, with COVID was still going on, so we did our first session of training online. But from 2023, Dr. Scott actually came here in Cameroon and being involved with PLI, and also being invited in the PLI board to share my personal experience from Africa, what we have been doing, seeing multiplication happening. When we started in 2021, we were 10 couples, let me say, including myself, we were 11. So in 2023, we actually, each of the 10 couples, well, my wife and I needed to stay so that we'd be able to work and coach and mentor and coach those other teams. Each of the 10 couples recruited 15 couples each. So 10 times 15, that's 100, and that'll be 150. Some of those couples now moved to Congo, Congo Brazzaville, and some to Congo Kinshasa. And then we also took PLI to Chad, and that's how it's been multiplying. And let's say we really see PLI really a bridge that bridges the gap between theological training and ministry training.
So you've really seen a difference in how pastors can then take it and disciple others.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really been it's a wonderful framework. Actually, I did theology. I've studied a lot about vision and mission and all that. It was so many big books of writing and reading and writing, but actually having that clear vision, what is God's vision for the world, what is God's mission for the world and for the church, was something that I could not clearly state it. But now it's very easy for me to clearly state what God's vision is and God's mission is and our role in it.
How many pastors would you say that you have directly trained?
Now, those who are in the PLI group in Cameroon, we are 277 now.
Tell me a little bit about the full gospel mission that you're also involved with in Cameroon.
Full Gospel Mission actually is about 60 years old or 63 years old as a denomination. We have about 1,500 churches and almost about that number of pastors. And we are also part of a bigger body, the Federation of Protestant Churches in Cameroon, which has a membership made of 12 churches.
Wow.
And these 12 churches have 11,400,000 members and 16,000 pastors. So,
how has that PLI training been able to cross and unite so many different denominations?
Like what I identified as a problem, our denomination is not the only one. Maybe like the gap between theological training and ministry is not just been a one denomination. I think when PLI leadership started, I think they saw that. And what brings us together is that the vision and the mission of that PLI is taking across. We are not discussing church structures. We are not discussing this theological doctrinal positions.
Okay.
We are just about the vision of God. We are about the mission of God and making of disciples and equipping pastors to effectively lead and be leaders that people want to follow. And also another thing that makes PLI unique is that this is one of the trainings I've found in the world that actually train couples together in ministry.
That's the niche. Yes.
Yes.
And so how do the spouses respond to all of a sudden getting training?
First, some of them thought it was just the men's thing that they would come and kick them and talk to them and how women should obey and how women should support their husband in ministry. But they were surprisingly surprised that they discovered that they have a role to play. One of the pastor's wives said, I've always believed that my calling is to take care of the kids, support my husband while he does ministry. So that's what I knew. But now I have discovered that I am also called, I have gifts that God wants to use to build his church. So it makes me now feel fulfilled. I have a sense of purpose now. I know that I'm not just there to accompany somebody, but I'm also there now to participate in that vision and mission.
What do you see happening in the next 5 years with PLI across Africa?
A report on the church, and I was shocked to discover that there are about 1 million untrained pastors in Africa. 1 million untrained pastors who have no form of training, either formally or non-formal or informal. So 1 million. And seeing this and also looking at those that have been trained and seeing this gap, we are saying our goal is that in the next 5 years, if we can reach 5% of this 1 million, 5%, that is about 50,000. Training them in small groups, that will be about 5,000 small groups, and in small groups of 10. And we'll be able to help them also empower a good number of them so that they can do some economic activities for themselves and improve their living conditions. And also help them see how they can empower their church members. Because one of the things we are doing is collaborating with the ecosystem of the business as mission, actually training church members to be disciple makers in the marketplace, because that is where they spend most of their time.
What is the average salary of a pastor in some of these areas in Africa?
Wow. Less than $50 a month. Let me take the case of
$50 a month.
Yes.
What would you like Barnabas participants and donors to know about the difference that their prayers and their financial support are making with you, with the pastors that you're training across Africa?
So I want them to know that what they are doing is helping to fulfill that God's vision and mission, God's vision of reconciling and restoring all things back to himself and making disciples across the nation. I want them to know that their prayers and generosity are not abstract. They are bearing fruit in the lives of pastors, in families, in churches, in communities. When the pastor is transformed, the church is transformed. When the church is transformed, the community is transformed. So what they are doing is really actually happening. When they pray, discouraged pastors are lifted when they go through the training. When they give, leaders in remote villages are able to receive training they would never have had access to. Never. They would never have had access to. And their support is really helping to equip the over 1 million pastors. I'm just saying in 5 years, we want to reach 5% of this 1 million. And what will happen if 5% of 1 million are trained? That's 50,000. If 50,000 church leaders are trained and each one of them trains just 10, just multiply the ripple effect. Just 10 couples, that is going to be huge. So let them know that what they are doing, praying and giving, God is helping. It's not just something. And one thing I like about PLI is that, because I know some organizations, they blow figures just to give figures. No, whatever statistic we give at PLI, they are verifiable. You can verify them because we have pictures, we take true pictures. We don't go to the market to snap people. We have, we've seen organizations like that. We don't go to the market to snap a crowd and show. There's a picture that shows this location. We have a list of participants that is really signed by the individual. We have contact address. You can verify emails, phone numbers for those who have emails and phone numbers. You can verify. So it's something that you can go to and that I can find. It's not just imagination. So